Happy Halloween. Welcome to Matrix Money. I'm your host, Crypto Jar. I also have Financial Failure and Crypto Mindset here on the channel. Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Halloween.
Hello.
You having a good one?
Yes, so
Happy
far so
Halloween.
good.
You guys, your candy ready for the trick or treaters and all the fun stuff heading to go?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, good
Got my
stuff.
outfit ready too.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
usually Batman every year, and my
Oh,
daughter
there you
asked me not to be Batman this year, so I just picked up one of those purge masks, and I think that's the way I'm rolling this year.
And then she'll be asking you to be Batman.
yeah, it'll be embarrassing enough, and then I'll be back to Batman. I just reuse the same thing for like the last 15 years, so it's okay.
There you go.
Oh, nice. Automatic
Hey, beats.
Beats. There we go. How's it going, bud?
Good morning.
Morning. So we got a few things going on today. I'm going to start with the first topic, and it's basically what's going to be going on with the UK. So over here, we have UK confirms plans to regulate crypto industry with formal regulations. And what this article is actually talking about is just getting some framework out there. They're going to be introducing legislation sometime in 2024. They haven't confirmed any dates, but they did confirm that there is a plan and they're proposing it right now. And what they want to do is they're going to be setting out rules for exchanges, for custodians companies that are going to be holding crypto for clients, and also crypto lenders. And the reason why I find this somewhat interesting is because the UK and the Commonwealth countries, I'm in Canada, so the Commonwealth countries usually follow suit with what's actually happening here. So I'm watching it closely, and they briefly talked about MiCA in this article and other articles that I read. And MiCA is going to be the markets and crypto assets regulation that's been set by the UK. So if they're going to be following what's happening in the UK, that means it'll trickle down to the UK and possibly in Canada and other countries as well. I know in the US, guys, there's nothing really set in stone right now. There's a lot of conversation happening, but what do you think about that?
Regulation's coming. I
Yeah.
mean, it is what it is at this point. I don't know. I'm not. Hey, let's see. Oops. I don't know. I'm driving badly today.
Okay.
It's coming. As much as I'd like to see less of it, but
Yeah, like
it's gonna bleed out.
So totally understand that it's not like the greatest thing that everyone wants to hear. Framework's definitely important. At least some regulation is going to be important just for the masses to adopt it. So when it comes to stable coins stable coins, that's a whole other issue because then you're opening up a portal to CBDCs and everything else. But I do think it's important. One of the things that they're talking about in this article is that they're working with the banking industry to create all these rules. So we know which path this is going to go down, right?
Right.
And I think, like, from what I'm seeing in the news for the US, it sort of seems like they're in bed together there as well, and they're going to be working on the same rules, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, probably. That's how they're gonna try and,
yeah.
I wish I could say more about that as somebody who works for a bank, but all of your assumptions are true. I'll just say that much. So don't get in trouble. But yeah, I mean, my own opinion on it is, twofold. I do think that it is important to have regulation. At least, some areas in the world are actually pushing for it, because here in the US, we're still using in 1930s, 1940s Howey test, whenever it was created, to, basically decide, okay, is this a security or not? And we need to update our own regulation, our own laws here in the States. So I think that this is a good step forward. It might not be the best, right?
Yeah.
Like we were just talking about, but it's a good step forward. You can always, amend and tailor the regulation, create bills and new laws in the future. So it's all good.
That's one thing that I'm a little bit concerned about, the amendment process, because history has sort of taught me that once the rules are set, they're usually stuck. There's not very I mean, we can try to push it.
Hence the Howey
this
test.
is why this process, I think, is a little bit. It's happening quietly, and there's not a lot of input from the masses, right? And my main issue is when they push these forward, they're set in stone, and then trying to roll back or modify them, make amendments is usually, at least I can only speak in Canada. Once they're in there, it's harder to make modifications and update.
You're not wrong, and it's not just Canada.
Yeah.
It's Canada. So, no, I agree. Well, I mean, you're all over, and hopefully you can, update everybody as there's new information to provide.
Yeah, definitely. This is one of the things I'm going to be following closely. Again, this is going to start happening in 2024. So they haven't set any dates. When they say 2024, it could be December 2024. So it could happen for the entire year and into the end of the year. So I thought this was interesting. I'm a crypto mindset. I don't know what you had going on, but
let me swap out some screens here. And basically, for those who don't know, today is the Bitcoin Whitepaper Day. So if I can find it, I'll gladly put it up here on the screen. Let's see. Yep, right here. Here we go. Let's get that up there. Did that actually show up? Oh, there it is. All right, good. So basically 15 years ago today, we had Satoshi publish the Bitcoin white paper. So I thought that was definitely something that we should talk about. So
so the white paper day. Now that's interesting that you're talking about this, because I just saw that Satoshi's X account was activated and he started tweeting. I don't know. Do you guys know anything about the history behind that account? Because apparently it's not the real Satoshi Nakamoto. It's some other dude that's pretty shady. That's just putting messages out there.
I honestly do not.
So what I heard, now don't quote me on this, is that if you're familiar with Craig Wright, the creator of BSV, I think because of the cases that he won to basically control the name of Satoshi Nakamoto for whatever reason, he was also possibly granted access to that account. So I don't think it's the actual Satoshi. I think it's possibly Craig Wright that's posting stuff there. So, I mean, don't be surprised to see some BSV stuff posted from there in the future. But again, don't quote me. His
name's come up quite a bit.
Wait. Yeah. Let me put it up here. Where's the banner? Here we go.
So, financial advice. I mean, exactly. That's not financial advice. That's just me, theories, conspiracy theories.
We're just putting it out. I'm sorry, I don't have it. Don't listen to me. When I got not financial.
You need advice. One. Don't listen to me.
That's funny. That's funny.
Because that Twitter account just was reactivated just a couple weeks ago, and I saw it's a lot of paraphrasing of different aspects of mathematics and crypto as well. I didn't really fully understand the last few tweets, but he's hinting that big things are coming for 2024. And it's just interesting also that regulation's starting to come together around. So I don't know who's actually controlling these accounts, but the message just seems that crypto is just getting bigger and bigger. But anyways, Bitcoin paper. That's interesting. I didn't know it was the anniversary today. That's
Yep. Halloween. But look, I'm going to be quick because I know that FF has some important stuff to go over here. So I just wanted to say to everybody that making sure that you learn about what's going on in the crypto space and how to function here safely, smartly, invest with doing your own research and so on. The Bitcoin white paper day kind of just hit it for me that this all started with him having a vision of Satoshi having a vision of what it could be. And as we're moving forward right now, we're starting to see some of that vision with the adoption of Bitcoin and so on and so forth. And even like we talked about last week, it doesn't matter who you are, you can make mistakes here.
Yeah,
a la Mark Cuban. Exactly. So it happens. You need to take the time to learn what you can, and I think my partners here will agree that you really need to do it for yourself. You need to understand it for yourself, and listening to people like us is great. Great way to start, but at the end of the day, you still need to do some of your own research, and that's all I kind of wanted to get out to everybody is that make sure you're doing your research and
why not
being
start with
safe
the
in the
white paper?
space.
Yeah, why not start with the Bitcoin white paper, right, where it all started anyways? So it's a great idea. Yeah.
That's why I said it just seemed appropriate for today.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, I think the fact that what you need to learn in cryptocurrency is just like vast. Nobody, and I don't think any of my partners here would even call themselves experts. They might be experts in certain areas, but like to be an expert in the entire crypto space, I'm sorry, that's just damn near impossible.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: security is a huge part of that, and it leads into what FF has to talk about. So, you want to take it from here, FF, and
Yeah,
I'll try and
absolutely.
bring up that link you gave me here.
Yeah, if you could bring up the LastPass one first. I know I put up a little community post on my own channel about if anybody used LastPass for their crypto accounts, seed phrases, private keys, etc. And I'm happy to say that 100% of people said no. So
that's good to hear.
One, I think that's great to hear that the community is already aware of, not always putting their trust 100% in these third parties, because again, it's very similar to like the exchanges that we talked about last week. An exchange is just a third party that you are trusting with your coins. It's the same thing with LastPass. So with this LastPass breach that actually happened, I believe like a year or two ago, or it was a while ago. It wasn't recent. A lot of those credentials, those private keys, according to Zach XBT, who is a security researcher on Twitter, he does a lot in the crypto community. So I'm not taking any credit for this. This is just based off of his tweet and his research. But on October 25th, it looked like $4.4 million worth of crypto assets were stolen because of that LastPass breach. So, again, I don't know how many times I can reiterate this, but when it comes to third parties, if you put your trust in them, you might get effed. That's why I say, hey, I'm financial failure, whatever, because these things happened to me before, and I don't want you all to make the same mistakes. So I do recommend this. Again, not financial advice. This is more security advice, that you keep your private keys either written down on paper. Try not to save them on like some sort of document that's going to be uploaded onto the cloud, because again, cloud is third party as well.
Right.
Give it some time in the future where maybe Microsoft Azure or AWS or something like that gets some sort of breach, and the next thing you know, your keys are stolen. So keep it to you, either in your hardware wallet that a lot of people preach, or write it down on paper and then hide that paper, because I don't even trust the people in my own house. So yeah, just when it comes to that, be extra careful. If you don't mind bringing up the ether hiding as well. I think the LastPass one is extremely simple for people to digest. This one is actually extremely simple too. I'm just gonna get the high level overview of the ether hiding.
Whoops.
But, no, you're fine. I can do some explanation.
No. I'm not sure which one. Oh, I think I brought up the wrong one. I had found one, and I think I brought that one up instead of yours. Sorry.
Oh, this is fine. It doesn't matter. A lot of people have been reporting on this. Really, what ether hiding is basically embedding your normal Web 2, quote unquote Web 2 code into Web 3 smart contracts. And Ethereum is not even related in this. The only reason why they call it ether hiding is because of if you know about Binance Smart Chain, they're basically like a fork of Ethereum. That's why you're able to, on your MetaMask, basically just change the RPC and everything else like that. And it's very, very simple to, use these other sort of Ethereum-like layer ones. But anyways, it's called ether hiding. And really what the issue is here is you have this malicious code embedded in your Web3 smart contract, and how they're able to execute this code is basically like phishing, for example. So the phishing attack is hacking, or not really hacking, because WordPress is not really inherently dangerous. It's actually the plugins that are within WordPress. So then what these malicious actors do is they target WordPress, and then from there, let's say you click on this WordPress that's been obviously manipulated or hacked or whatever from somebody. Then from there, it will have some sort of pop-up telling you to update your browser, which, again, you shouldn't be clicking on these random links and stuff like that. If you want to update your browser, do it from the official Google site, official Brave, whatever, to update any software. Do it from the official site. But this is just something that they can get people on. It's phishing for the most part, because I do think this would have to be some sort of targeted attack. But it's a new attack, right? It's a new attack vector. And again, for anybody who's trying to be safe, don't click on random stuff. Don't click on random things to update your browser, etc. Especially in this DeFi space, because as somebody who has used Binance Smart Chain a lot, Ethereum, Polygon Network, just because they're using BSC for this attack doesn't mean that they can, not use it for Polygon Matic, Ethereum, whatever else, right? So
I was literally about to ask you that question. If this is just relegated to BSC.
No, it's definitely not. It's just that they found it in BSC, right? So, guys, gals, whoever's watching, Paul, yes. Yeah, see, I mean, if you bring up his comment, Paul, the Atomic Wallet breach, a huge breach. I think it was like over 100 million or so from that breach. And I think it was tied to the Lazarus group as well. And again, I have a video on that, the Lazarus group attacking some gambling type of sites on my channel as well. Take a look at that, APT 38. But huge fail there. But again, it goes back to third party, right? Unfortunately, you put some trust in the third party. The Atomic Wallet is a software-based wallet. It happens a lot to Exodus wallets as well. So be careful. It's also happened a lot to people who have Zelcore. We put our trust in these third-party wallet manufacturers or developers, and it's hard because a lot of people say, "Hey, move it off of the exchange," and the first thing you do is you move it to one of those wallets, right?
Yeah.
But hopefully you've learned to, okay, maybe I'll put some of my funds in this hot wallet, the software wallet, for when I want to just quickly trade. But then if I want to, hodl, as we like to say, then I'll put it in, my Trezor, or God forbid my Ledger. We know what happened with Ledger a while ago, or your Tangent, whatever. But yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to hit on today. There's plenty other things that I could talk about. There's even a Fireblocks related security incident where Fireblocks, they're actually a wallet provider. They did some white hat hacking on, I believe, Unipass, which is a wallet creator in Singapore. And they were able to basically do some re-engineering on this ERC, I think 4337. But again, I could talk security all day. There's all sorts of stuff going on in the crypto world. But all I can say is just, protect your keys, paper and pencil are your best friend, or etching it on metal. But
well, I was about to ask, what do you feel about all the steal options that are out there?
All of these stealing options?
No, steal, like they've got the like Ledger has the
I personally use it myself. I order these steel 24 phrased pre-etched with like 1 through 24 sheets of metal on Amazon. Yep. I have an etching device, and I etch everything on there. I mean, even if it's, I don't know how long the characters are right now. It's a 64 or 32. bit long string. I'll even, if that's for my private key or whatever, I'll etch that on there too. I'll etch it on the back, and then I'll store it somewhere. You're not going to know where, but that's what I do. And again, I recommend it because, you know, it's literally every single month it's some new third party that's getting breached, and then your ish is gone.
Yeah. And that's sort of like one of the biggest opportunities right now, is to create a wallet for the masses to use. That's not so complicated. Like, I know we have to use these passphrases, but then you run into the issue of storing it, and you're talking about metal plates, which is durable and everything else, but where are you going to store these metal plates? And then if someone finds it, and I don't know, it opens up a whole wormhole of just keeping your crypto secure. I kind of always thought that was going to be a little bit difficult. Like when I first got into crypto, just understanding the concept of a wallet itself and the seed phrase. I'm like, what are you talking about seed phrase? Like, what's a 24 words? How am I going to remember 24 words? I thought it was a password. So I was just typing in a password, wasn't accepting it. I think that's just a huge hurdle just in general, is how do we get this thing simplified so the masses can use it and understand it? It's kind of complicated, I think, just in general, but once you understand it, you can start going through it. And then you run into this other issue that you're talking about, which is hard wallets or cold storage, and then software wallets. These software wallets are constantly being compromised. But if you want to do anything, if you want to log into a website and you want to use a Web3 way to connect to a DApp, you have to use a MetaMask wallet or an Exodus wallet or a Trust wallet or something like that. Yeah, security is number one. My website was actually breached and it had a malicious code injected. I don't even know how, but it was exactly what you're talking about. It was a WordPress plugin. So I had to go through the whole thing, wipe it all out, clean it, and then get it back up. And I still don't understand how they entered into the site. So just getting around, they're always one step ahead, and just trying to get security in place it's a constant battle.
Yeah, and a serious learning curve, which is why I wanted to like hit on that earlier in the stream. It's something you constantly need to stay on top of. Matter of fact, until we were prepping for this stream, I hadn't even heard about the EtherHacking thing. You know, it literally like just, and I'm in this space like hours a day, every day, and I still missed it. So it's not, it's a lot.
Constantly happening.
Responding to people in the chat here.
So
hey Chris, welcome.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that I'm glad that us as the community, crypto community as a whole, we're learning. We're not making these same mistakes over again, because, you know, I forgot what the phrase is called, but if you make the same mistake over and over again, that's the definition of insanity or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So
you got that right.
I'm really happy that people are learning. I'm really happy that my community post was 100% no, I don't use this for my keys like that. That's something that I love, because I hated seeing people getting, you know, their funds lost. Like, you know, one of our viewers said that he lost his funds through Atomic Wallet. I hated the whole BitConnects thing that happened to people a while ago. And I mean hate with like a capital H, hate, because these are funds that people hard work, right? People put their energy, their time, whatever, you know, their 9 to 5, their little $20 in here and there. I know that was me back in, you know, 2017, 2016. And to have some of my funds lost through just playing in DeFi or, you know, doing degen farming and stuff like that, and then having, you know, a rug pull happen. That's why I kind of want to force security on people. And I'm just, again, happy that people are learning. So I just wanted to say
definitely
that.
True. Definitely true.
Yeah.
Especially like if you're just I was just going to say, if you're experimenting, like you're talking about when I first got in, $20, $30, whatever, if that gets wiped out, extremely discouraging. All of a sudden now you want nothing to do with crypto, and you lose out on all the benefits of what it actually had to offer. So just getting past those little hurdles, right? It's just agonizing.
Yeah. And it doesn't even, let's be honest, it doesn't even have to be losing the money. I've got some family who watched another member of the family get into Bitcoin. Unfortunately, he got into Bitcoin close to the top of the last bull run. And what happened? Like 85% drawback, right? And they are, anytime he even mentions like Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, they want to castrate him because he's like, you lost all our money and blah, 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 because they don't get it. You know what I'm saying? They don't get it. So it doesn't even need to be as extreme as like BitConnect, for example. But yeah, even just the normal volatility here, not for nothing. FF, I was going to ask you a quick question. With regard to like we just talked about LastPass, do you recommend, is probably the better phrase, any of these password managers at all?
Me personally, no. When these sort of password managers were extremely publicized by a lot of YouTubers, I'm not going to tell you their names. They weren't crypto YouTubers, thankfully, but they were like tech YouTubers really pushing LastPass and other sort of password managers as, this is a better security for you, so you don't, forget your password or write it down somewhere where somebody could take it. And I was like listening to these guys like, really, you're gonna put your trust in some third party? And then God forbid LastPass got hacked, and I wanted to say I told you so, but like at the same time I was like, no, like these people lost their, banking accounts, not just like crypto accounts, right? So like you don't want to, do that whole, oh, I told you so sort of thing when people are losing money and losing their accounts, right? So no, I can't recommend it. Again, it goes back to just paper and pencil. Maybe pen if you don't want to erase it.
I don't know if you can see that.
I can see that. Yeah, there you go.
What do you think about that?
YubiKeys for like MFA you're talking about, or just in general?
Yep. Yeah. MFA absolutely. For different sites and stuff. Yep.
Yeah, YubiKeys are great. I totally recommend that. I actually recommend that over Google Authenticator. There was a recent Google authentication breach, and it wasn't, well, it kind of is because of Google. If you look it up, it was Okta related as well. And it's because Google syncs your keys over to the cloud. Actually, I got to go soon, guys. I got a meeting. But I just want to explain this really quick. Because Google syncs it to the cloud, the perpetrator who had access to the Okta account, because Okta manages all these other cloud service provider types tools like Authenticator, they gained access to the Okta account, which then gave them access to that Google account. And then because Google synced it to the cloud, then they had access to all the MFA for everything else, right? So like even Google Authenticator, and I'll admit it, I do use it, but I turn the cloud sync off. So you want to turn the cloud sync off. This goes back to the whole cloud thing, right? So anyways, guys, I have a meeting. Hopefully next time I can stay a little bit longer and we could talk more about.
No, look, we can wrap it up. That's thanks for your input. That's very valuable.
Yeah, no, really, seriously, that was great. Thank you.
Peace.
All right, peace. Go to your meeting. I Jar, I know you gotta. Hold on, let me. Okay, I can't remove him. There he goes. I know you gotta go too pretty soon here. So. Anything you want to say to wrap it up, and then we'll call it a stream?
Like it's a lot of valuable information, especially when it comes down to the security. Like I know this hurdle is going to be a big one for everyone to get over. The wallets and how to keep yourself secure and how to keep it private. Keeping it private again, like even I use Google Authenticator for websites often, but turning just like that, just to know to turn off the cloud option, that itself is a big deal.
It is
all of a sudden it's not being stored in the cloud. You just gave yourself that much more security. All the important things. And then these hurdles, man, there's always a new hack coming around. So,
Hey, and all you can do is try and stay on top of it and try and stay ahead of it. And if you, I don't know, my opinion is if you practice good online security, using, VPNs and using stuff like multi-factor authentication and stuff like that, I think you're ahead of like 90% of the world. I mean, that stat may be wrong, but I mean, actually, I really think so.
I think that's actually a good topic maybe for the next stream is we go through maybe the top 5 things that you can do to protect yourself when getting into the space and securing your assets, and just go over the top 5, and maybe go into a little bit of detail on how to secure it, how to store it, the best practices that are out there right now.
Sure.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah. I'm up for that.
Because I think just so it's out there, something to refer to. Because I, on my channel itself, like I lightly touch on security. I don't go too deep into it, but I get a lot of questions about that. So it might be a good resource to point out too.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And for those who are still hanging into the stream here, either let us know in the live chat or down in the comments if you're watching this on the replay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Anything else, my friend?
I'm good. I think that's it. I think we covered the topics that we wanted to. Get ready for that trick-or-treating and get my
I know, right?
lined up.
Yeah, I think tonight, instead of sticking around, we were gonna stick around. I think we're gonna actually meet up with one of our kids and go out with the grandkids and do a little bit of that tonight.
Yeah,
it's cold here today. Like we went from like 70 degrees the other day down to like 40 today. So it's like that's a shock to the system. So I'm kind of looking forward to it a little bit.
Yeah, no, today was the first day that we got frost on the grass because I haven't seen it everywhere. I take the kids to school and everything else, and there's just this nice white coat of frost. I'm like, it's here. It's here.
Exactly. Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah. Anyways, it was good seeing you. Good talking to you. Great stream.
Yep. Same. We got one. I'm just making sure it's not a last. Okay.
Well, Chris.
Thank you,
Thanks
Chris.
a lot, Chris. Appreciate the support.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate that. And
happy Tiger.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Safe traveling. All right. We're out. Don't forget, we'll be here next Tuesday, 10 a.m. All goes well. And don't forget to visit all of our separate channels. They're linked into the description of this live stream. So you take care, and we will see you next week.
All right. Take care. Bye, everyone.